You ever notice how sometimes a woman will say one thing but then do something completely different? She might act like she's not really into you. She might even go out of her way to say something like, "Oh, we're just friends," or "You're like a brother to me." But then her behavior tells a totally different story. And that's what I want to talk about right now. Because when a woman is craving you but trying to hide it, one of the clearest signs is that her actions start to contradict her words. Let's be real. When someone isn't interested, you feel it. They keep their distance, they don't invest time, and their energy is closed off. But when a woman is secretly craving you, her actions leak the truth. She might not say it out loud, but she'll go out of her way to spend time around you. She shows up at the same places, remembers the smallest details about you, and laughs at jokes that no one else even noticed. That's not by accident. She might say she's busy, but somehow she finds time to help you with something, check in on you, or reply to your messages late at night when she could be sleeping. And don't overlook the little things, like how she remembers your favorite drink, or the way she makes sure to sit near you even when there's plenty of space elsewhere. That's not just friendliness. That's emotional presence. That's interest, even if she's not admitting it. Sometimes it's about eye contact. She'll lock eyes with you longer than necessary, or look away quickly when you catch her staring. It's not just nervousness. It's attraction she's trying to control. And there's always this kind of tension in the air, a push and pull. You'll feel her drawn to you in moments when she forgets to hide it. Maybe when you're laughing together, or during a quiet moment when you're just talking and she's really listening. Those are the cracks in her armor. You see, words are easy to manipulate, especially when pride, fear, or past hurt are involved. But actions? Those are much harder to fake. Her body will move toward you, even if her mind is telling her to hold back. She'll prioritize you without realizing it. And even if she's fighting her own feelings, those unspoken cues. So when her words say, "I'm not interested," but her presence keeps showing up, when she dismisses the idea of being close to you but continues to invest in you emotionally and energetically, understand that's not random, that's not confusion, that's craving wrapped in denial. And if you look closely, the truth is written all over her behavior. She may not be ready to speak her desire out loud, but her actions already whispered it a long time ago. When a woman is craving you but trying to hide it, one of the most revealing signs isn't always what she does for you, it's how she reacts to you. Her emotions start to slip through the cracks, even when she's trying to stay in control. You might say something completely harmless, and suddenly she seems irritated or distant. Or you could be chatting with another woman and out of nowhere her whole energy shifts. She might pretend it doesn't bother her, but you can feel the tension. And that's no coincidence. This emotional reactivity is often misunderstood. People think if someone's jealous or moody, they're just being dramatic. But more often than not, it's coming from a place of care, even desire, that they're not comfortable expressing openly. So instead, it leaks out sideways. One moment she's warm and playful, and the next she's cold or sarcastic. That inconsistency, that's not confusion. That's inner conflict. See, when a woman is trying to bury her feelings for you, it creates friction inside her. She wants to be close, but she doesn't want to seem vulnerable. She wants your attention, but she's afraid of what it means if she asks for it. So instead, her emotions take over in subtle and sometimes not so subtle ways. You'll notice she's more emotionally reactive around you than with others. Things you say seem to matter more to her. Your opinions, your moods, even your silence. They hit differently. That's because your presence isn't neutral to her. You matter. And that emotional sensitivity is a sign she's more invested than she's letting on. And here's something else. She might start comparing herself to other women around you, even if she doesn't say it out loud. You'll sense it in the way she watches your interactions. She might get quiet when another woman compliments you or asks seemingly innocent questions like, "So, are you too close?" It's not jealousy in the obvious sense. It's insecurity disguised as curiosity. She's trying to measure where she stands without revealing that she cares where she stands. All of this emotional intensity is hard to fake. It's not something she plans. It just comes out because when someone is deeply drawn to you, their guard can't always hold back the truth. Even when she's trying to be casual or cool, her feelings will show in how quickly she reacts, how deeply she feels, and how much she's affected by even the smallest things you do. And maybe she doesn't even understand why she's feeling that way. Maybe she hasn't accepted the craving herself yet, but her heart knows. And the heart always speaks through emotion first, even when the mind is in denial. So if her reactions feel a little too intense, a little too personal, or a little too unpredictable, don't ignore that. That emotion isn't random, it's a signal. And sometimes the strongest desires are the ones we try the hardest to hide. When a woman is craving you but hiding it, one of the clearest signs is how she finds subtle ways to stay connected to you even when there's no real reason to be. She might not say, I miss you or I want to be around you, but look closer. It's in the way she pops up in your DMs out of nowhere, replying to a story that didn't need a reply. Or how she sends you something random, a meme, a song, a video, and just says, this reminded me of you. It seems casual, almost playful, but underneath it, there's intention. She's creating reasons to stay close without admitting she wants to be. Now, people don't go out of their way for people they're indifferent about. That effort, even if it's lighthearted, is a reflection of thought, and thought is a reflection of feeling. If she's thinking about you enough to reach out when there's no actual need, that's a connection she's trying to maintain without making it obvious. She doesn't want to lose touch with you, even if she's not ready to confront what she really feels. You might notice how she keeps the conversation going even when there's nothing specific to talk about. She asks about your day, your weekend, your plans. She remembers what you told her, like your big meeting at work or that thing you said you were nervous about, and checks in after. These aren't just friendly gestures. These are emotional anchors. She's holding space in your life in quiet ways, hoping you don't notice how deeply she's actually invested. Sometimes it's even more subtle. She might not talk to you directly every day, but she watches all your stories, she likes your posts, she finds a way to stay in your digital space, connected but not exposed. And that's the thing. She wants to be seen but not caught. She wants to be in your world but not confront the reasons why. You may also find her inserting herself into situations where she knows you'll be. Whether it's a mutual event or a casual hangout, she just happens to be there. Maybe she says it's coincidence, but too many coincidences usually aren't. She's finding ways to be around you because that proximity feeds the craving she's not comfortable admitting. And all of this effort? It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's soft, consistent, and easy to overlook if you're not paying attention. But if you step back and really observe, you'll realize she's always finding a way to stay close. Not in a way that demands your attention, but in a way that hopes for it. So if she keeps showing up in small ways, keeps reaching out with no real reason, keeps finding excuses to stay connected, don't dismiss it as coincidence. That's desire in disguise. And sometimes the most silent connections speak the loudest. There's a language we often ignore, a language that speaks louder than words ever could. It's the language of the body. When a woman is craving you but hiding it, her body will often tell on her before her mouth ever does. She might think she's being subtle, she might believe she's got her feelings under control, but her body will whisper the truth in moments she doesn't even notice. Watch how she behaves when she's around you. Does she lean in just a little when you talk, even if you're not speaking directly to her? Does she angle her body toward you in a group, even if she's pretending to focus elsewhere? Those aren't random movements. Those are signals. Her body is naturally pulled in your direction even when her mind is trying to stay neutral. There's also something incredibly revealing in the way she makes eye contact. Sometimes it lingers just a beat too long, not enough to be obvious, but long enough for you to feel it. Or maybe she keeps looking at you and then looking away quickly, like she's afraid you'll see something in her eyes that she's not ready to say out loud. That hesitation, that flicker of vulnerability, it's powerful, because when someone's trying to hide their craving, their eyes often become the most honest part of them. You might notice her getting slightly nervous around you. Maybe she fidgets more, plays with her hair, adjusts her clothes, or touches her neck. These are subconscious reactions to emotional tension. Her body is responding to your presence, even if she's doing everything she can to keep it cool on the surface. It's not about being shy. It's about trying to control a desire that's bubbling underneath. And there's mirroring too. When someone feels connected to you, they'll often mirror your gestures, your tone, even your posture without realizing it. So if you take a sip of your drink and she does the same a moment later, or you laugh and she echoes your energy, that's more than chemistry. That's alignment. That's her body saying, I feel you, even when her mouth stays silent. You don't need her to say she's attracted to you. You can feel it in the way she shifts closer when you're near, in the way her smile softens when she sees you, or how she finds small, innocent reasons to touch you. A hand on your arm, brushing past you, fixing something on your shirt. These gestures are gentle, but they're not meaningless. They're emotional nudges, quiet confessions spoken through skin instead of words. She may be working overtime to act unbothered, to maintain her composure, but her body is always 10 steps ahead of her logic. And if you pay close enough attention, you'll realize she's already told you everything without saying a single word. Sometimes the strongest signs that a woman is craving you show up in the quietest moments, not in how loud she laughs or how often she texts you, but in those little windows of vulnerability that slip through when she thinks no one's paying attention. And when a woman opens up emotionally, even just a little, that's no small thing. Because a woman who's craving you but hiding it won't always say how she feels directly. But she will begin to share parts of herself she usually keeps guarded. It might start with a late-night conversation that drifts into deeper waters. You're talking about music, life, or something casual, and all of a sudden, she tells you about something that hurt her. Maybe it's a story from her past, a fear she has, or a dream she's never really said out loud before. And in that moment, it's like the walls fall away, just a little. That's not accidental. That's trust. That's emotional intimacy. And that only happens when a woman feels something for you that goes beyond the surface. Now, she might still act like it's no big deal. She might laugh it off, change the subject, or brush it aside like it wasn't a meaningful moment, but deep down, it was. Because a woman doesn't just open her heart like that to everyone, especially not when she's trying to pretend she doesn't feel what she feels. Vulnerability is always a risk, and craving someone in silence is already a risk on its own. So when she chooses to let you see her unfiltered, even for a brief second, you better believe there's more behind that than she's letting on. And sometimes it's not what she says, it's how she says it. You'll notice she lets her guard down more when it's just the two of you. Her tone softens, she's more reflective. She might look away when she shares something emotional, like she's giving you a piece of herself, but isn't sure if it's safe. That hesitation, that openness, is a sign she's trying to build a connection without fully exposing how much she wants it. She may also begin to seek your support, your opinion, your comfort, not because she can't handle life on her own, but because she values your presence. She trusts your perspective. And she's slowly, quietly letting you into her emotional world. That level of access, that's not casual. That's emotional craving in motion. So while everyone else might see her as strong, composed, or distant, you start to see the parts of her that are soft, unsure, and searching. And that's where the truth lives. Not in the version she shows the world, but in the parts she reveals only to you. Because when a woman starts to trust you with her vulnerability, she's already feeling more than she's saying. One of the clearest signs a woman is craving you but hiding it is the inconsistency in her behavior. Those mixed signals that keep you guessing. One moment she's warm, present, maybe even a little flirty, and the next she pulls away like nothing ever happened. It's confusing, but here's the truth. That push and pull isn't because she doesn't know what she wants. It's because she does. And that desire is clashing with her fear, her pride, or maybe even past pain she hasn't healed from. When a woman is drawn to you, but doesn't feel safe enough, emotionally or otherwise, to show it, she'll try to control the feeling. She might convince herself that she needs to stay distant. She might tell herself not to get too close or too vulnerable, but at the same time, her heart is craving connection. So what do you get? Mixed signals. hot and cold. She leans in, then pulls back. She gives you just enough to keep the bond alive, but not enough to expose what she's really feeling. It might look like her being super engaged one day, texting first, joking with you, making plans, and then suddenly going quiet for no reason. Or maybe she opens up emotionally, lets you in just a little, and then the next time you talk, she's guarded again. It's not because she's playing games, it's because she's conflicted. She's battling her craving with her instinct to protect herself, and sometimes that battle plays out in real time through her behavior. You'll also notice how she tries to keep control of the dynamic. She might act unbothered, pretend she's cool with just being friends, or downplay moments that clearly held more weight. That's her way of keeping the upper hand, of staying in control of a feeling that's already taken root. But despite her efforts, the craving still seeps through. You see it in her body language, in her reactions, in those in-between moments when she forgets to keep her guard up. And here's what's important. Those mixed signals are not a reflection of you. They're a reflection of her inner conflict. A part of her wants to surrender to the connection, and another part is trying to pull back before things go too far. And that's why it can feel like emotional whiplash, because she's craving something she's not yet ready to face. So instead of just listening to her words or reacting to her shifts in energy, start paying attention to the pattern. If her behavior is inconsistent, but the connection keeps resurfacing, that's not confusion. That's craving with hesitation. That's desire wrapped in resistance. Because sometimes the strongest feelings aren't shown in straight lines. They show up in waves, in the way she pulls back, not because she's indifferent, but because she feels too much.